Got my Kale sweatshirt on, I'm feeling like Beyonce. We're gonna talk about my favorite things in the world, eyeshadow palettes. I'm so excited. Hey guys! So today I'm filming my eyeshadow palette collection. This is my favorite type of video to watch on YouTube, definitely, because eyeshadow is my favorite makeup in the world, basically. Eyeshadow palette collections are like hands down my favorite type of video to watch on YouTube. I just love seeing what other people have in their collections. So today I wanted to film mine. I have way too many palettes, and please do not think that this video is trying to come off as bragging. I just like seeing what other people have in their collections, and I thought it might be interesting to show what's in mine. So let's get into the video. So the first one I have to show you guys is something I just got for my birthday. It is the Too Faced Natural Love palette. This is from the new summer collection from Too Faced, and this is the first Too Faced palette I've actually ever owned. I love the packaging, first of all. Just like the gorgeous flowers, it's got some like nice velvet lettering, and so you open it up. Oh. So we've got some gorgeous like neutral tones all over the board. I am a little bit disappointed though, because I thought that there would be more mattes in here, and I typically like to create a mostly matte look, especially if in the crease or for transition shades. There's only a couple mattes in here, and most of them are like satin finishes or shimmer finishes, so I'm kind of disappointed in that. Otherwise, I haven't really gotten to play around with this as much as I would have liked to. So far, I'm actually liking it a lot. I love this Makeup and Chill shade here and Hot and Bothered. They actually swatch pretty nice on my fingers and on my forearm. So far, loving this palette. Cannot wait to try it out a little bit more. So this next palette is something I kind of bought on impulse, and it's not that bad because it was only $10, but if you go to TJ Maxx, they have a lot of really discounted makeup, and they also have a lot of really cheap brands too. So I found this one from Profusion. This is called the Treasure Box, and when you open it up, it is huge. It comes with 35 eyeshadow shades, kind of like a Morphe palette. Then you have a contour shade, a setting powder, and then you have 2 blushes and an assortment of lip gloss colors. Admittedly, I never really use this. The mattes in here are kind of, well, crappy. You get what you pay for. It was $10. But the shimmers in here are actually surprisingly good. Like, that's what they swatch like on your fingers, so they come off pretty pigmented. And then on the forearm, pretty flaky, but I'd kind of compare that to how flaky the shadows in the Naked palettes are. For $10, this is actually a pretty good palette, and I don't know, I'd never reach for this, but it's just an interesting thing I have in my collection. Just gonna get the other big palette out of the way. This is a massive, really old e.l.f. palette. You open it up, and it comes with a huge assortment of like warm tone shadows and cool tone shadows on the other side, but that's not it. You open it up even more, you get face shades and lip shades. Yeah, so this is huge. But just focusing on the eyeshadows, they're actually surprisingly good. I've swatched these a couple times. Like the Profusion palette, I never reach for this because I have better quality shadows in my collection. This is an interesting thing to have, and I sometimes reach for it when I'm in need of like a really vibrant color for a look I'm doing. So now I want to get into my Morphe palettes. I have 3 different Morphe palettes. So the first one I have is the 35W. Really pretty assortment of like plummy tones, some peachy tones, and then a couple orangey tones as well. I don't know, I think out of all my Morphe palettes, this is probably the one I reach for the least. The purples are gorgeous. It can be really hard to create a pigmented purple eyeshadow. It's probably one of the hardest colors that an eyeshadow lab can create. Morphe shadows in general are such a good deal. I love this gorgeous like orangey tangerine shade here. And I don't really use the pinks in here, but I feel like with this palette you can make a similar look to what the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette might create. So if you're wanting a cheaper dupe for that, since this is $22.99, this could be something you could consider. My next Morphe palette is the 35O. This is the one that everyone is talking about. It's so gorgeous. You get a really lovely assortment of some warm tone neutrals and some oranges, and the shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. So you barely need to touch it, and you'll get a swatch like the colors for this palette. I know she's coming out with another one, so I can't wait to pick that up, but this is one of my favorite palettes as well. She did such a great job of picking out some gorgeous warm-toned shades, and she's got a gorgeous assortment of berries, and I love this pop of green in here. Once again, I think Morphe palettes are just really amazing in general. You get so much quality for the price, and I'm definitely going to be buying more from them. So next I want to go into my Urban Decay palettes, and I have this one right here. This is not an actual eyeshadow palette. This is an empty palette that you can fill up with your own shadows. So I love the purple rose design on this. I have this deep matte black here, and then I have a champagne-y shimmer, a plum shimmer, and then this satiny gray. I actually like the quality of these individual shadows a lot more than what's in the Naked palettes and other Urban Decay palettes. These are gorgeous. So yeah, this is just a custom palette. I don't know if they actually sell this Purple Rose one anymore, but love this. This is actually my first ever high-end eyeshadow palette, and it was the Urban Decay Oz the Great and Powerful Theodore palette. So this is what it looks like. It came with a lipstick that I still have, but this is actually one of my favorite formulas of Urban Decay shadows, first of all, because they're so buttery and creamy. I like them a lot more than what's in the Naked palettes. There's actually a great assortment of mattes. I love that the top three here are matte. I really love this kind of peanut buttery shade here. It's so gorgeous in the crease. And then there's three kind of shimmery shades here, and I like that they broke it up where you have bigger pans of the more neutral shades that you would use more often, and a little bit smaller quantities of what you wouldn't use super often. For example, like these greens, I wouldn't really use those. So yeah, obviously this was limited edition, so it's not available anymore, but I really, really like the formula, and Urban Decay, you should create more shadows like these ones and not like the Naked palettes. You can probably tell by the way I've been talking about them, the Naked palettes are not my favorite. And I'm so sorry, this is just like my opinion. All of these things are just my opinion. If you love the Naked palettes and they work for you, that is amazing, and I'm so happy for you. They just don't work for me, and they're just not my favorite. That being said, I do have 3 of them. And I mean, they're okay. They're not bad palettes, I just don't love them that much. So this is the Naked Smoky palette. This is my least favorite palette probably in my entire collection, but just in general, I do not like this palette. The packaging is really sturdy and great for travel, so that's something to consider, but the colors, not that I don't like, okay, there goes the brush. It's not like I don't like the colors that are in here. I really love that like navy blue color and rich chocolate brown in here. These shadows, there's so much fallout, and most of the shadows in the Naked palettes are shimmery, so I feel like I can't even create a full look with this. That being said, they're not bad shadows. I just feel like for the price you're paying, you could get a lot better shadows. Like this is $52, and you could buy an Anastasia palette, and I love the quality in those way more than what's in here. Overall, not my favorite, but I know a lot of people love the Naked palettes, so I don't want to crap on your favorites. Another Naked palette I have is the Naked 2. I know a lot of people either have the Naked 1 or Naked 2, and that was like their first high-end eyeshadow palette. I've never owned the Naked 1, I probably never will, so here's the Naked 2. The inside you have an assortment of really, really pretty cool toned shades. My problem with this, again, the formula, there's a lot of fallout, so you really have to either do your eye makeup first or just be super careful, and I don't like having to do that, especially if I'm paying $52 for an eyeshadow palette. There are only 3 matte shades in here. There goes the brush, oh my gosh. I keep dropping the brush, okay. Unless I'm just using this tea shade here and then one of the shimmers in my lid, I just cannot create a full look with this, and I just don't like that, especially if I'm paying $52 for an eyeshadow palette. So for those reasons, I'm not a super fan of the Naked palettes, and I just feel like they could do so much better. Okay, so my third and final Naked palette is the Naked Basics, and this is actually my favorite. I actually really like this palette. So when you look at it, it seems pretty simple. You get 6 shades. Yeah, you get 6 shades. And I love this because you can either create a really simple look with this, or you can use it to supplement a palette where you can't create a full look with this. So I might use this with like the other Naked palettes, or I'd use this with another one of my palettes where I feel like I really can't create a full look. I love taking this traveling because the packaging is really sturdy, the quality of these shadows is gorgeous, and I just really love these beautiful neutral colors. I have one more Urban Decay palette. This is the UD Urban Vices palette. So it's actually a small quad. You get a mirror in it, and it comes with an eyeliner as well. I'm pretty sure this was limited edition. It's not available anymore. I really never reach for this, mainly because they are all like satin finishes or shimmer finishes, and I cannot create a full look with this. Also, I just not attracted to these cool tone colors, so I'm probably going to get rid of this because I've never even touched it. So the next palette I have is the Balm Appetit palette from the Balm. I still have it in the slide out thing, but here's the palette. When you open it up, it's super cute, and it has this little eat your heart out graphic. Thankfully though, you can pull that down and then you have access to the pans. I don't reach for this nearly enough. I really bought it only because of this orange shade here. It's called Crispy Bacon, which is ironic because I'm vegan, but shimmer shades in here are absolutely gorgeous. The mattes do need a little bit of help. I definitely want to try and create more looks with this, so you might see a video coming with this soon. I just need to challenge myself and reach for this more because I haven't played with this nearly enough. Here's something that I've used to death. This was the Stila Eye for Color eyeshadow palette, and oh my gosh. So yeah, I completely decimated this palette. It used to have, here I'll show you, it used to have this assortment of colors in it, and I used up a lot of the colors. Hit pan on 6 of them, and there's a pretty significant dent in the rest of them, so Stila's eyeshadow formula is, I'd say it's really underrated. I definitely need to get more shadows from them. This is the only palette I have, and it's like completely unusable. I barely even use this anymore except when I need a really nice pop of color. Yeah, definitely this makes me want to go buy more palettes from Stila. As you can see, I really love this. So I've never owned the Naked 3 from Urban Decay, but this is a dupe for it. This is the Makeup Revolution Iconic 3 palette, and I really just bought this because at the time I really wanted the Urban Decay Naked 3, and I heard that this was a dupe, so I got it. Comes with a lot of really gorgeous rosy tones. Again, just like the Naked palettes, there's a lot of shimmers in here. However, since this is only $7 compared to the $52 that you'd be paying for the Urban Decay Naked 3, I can actually justify this because even though it's mostly shimmers and you can't create a full look from this, it's $7. So again, just like the Urban Decay shadows, there's a lot of fallout and it's kind of chunky glitter, but you can work with it, and for $7 I'm really willing to work with it. I haven't really used it that much since I bought it. The shimmers are gorgeous, the mattes a little less gorgeous, but overall I'd say it's a really good palette and I really want to try more from Makeup Revolution. You can see this mountain of growing palettes. It's like huge, guys. Well, I just dropped her. It's kind of sad because this is one of my most expensive palettes, but this is the Natasha Denona 5-color eyeshadow palette, and this is palette number 4. So it has Aura, Cool Bronze, Oxide, Cool Plum, and Moonstone. I don't have the brush anymore, but this is the first shadows I've ever gotten from Natasha Denona, and I really like them. They're so gorgeous. They're definitely high quality shadows. However, this is $48 and it's for 5 eyeshadows, and while the shadows are great, I think the packaging just leaves a lot to be desired, because if you're paying $48 for 5 eyeshadows, it should have a really, really gorgeous packaging, and it's just some like cheapy plastics. Natasha, girl, come on, hook us up. Other than that, I really love it. Now for my 2 favorite eyeshadow palettes in my entire collection. Obviously, we have the Modern Renaissance from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love this gorgeous pink velvet outer. It does get dirty fairly easily, but you can totally clean it up with like an eye makeup remover, just gently with a cotton ball, and that works really well. This is like the holy grail for a warm tone lover. It's very similar to the Violet Voss Holy Grail, which I don't actually have, but I think I might buy that, even though I probably shouldn't because these are like the same colors. But knowing me, I probably will. So you have a gorgeous mix of like really pretty berry tones, some oranges. Honestly, love every single color in here, and I use them all. Just looking at this, I can probably create like 4 or 5 different looks using this palette, and it wouldn't be that hard. So overall, I'd say this is definitely worth the investment. Why do the brushes keep falling out? Oh my god. I'd say this is definitely worth the investment, and it is probably either my number 1 or number 2. Definitely fluctuates between this and Master Palette by Mario. Oh my gosh. Are the 2 best palettes that Anastasia has ever come out with, and this is like my holy grail. This was created by Mario, Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, so you know it's gonna be good. But these are the colors in here, and you might look at this and think, oh, that's pretty basic. But these are probably the best quality eyeshadows I've ever used. Better, in my opinion, than Natasha Denona's eyeshadows, and that's saying a lot because her eyeshadows are bomb. And even better than the ones in the Modern Renaissance, which is weird because it's like the same brand, so you'd think it'd be the same formula. But no, these, in my opinion, are better, and I feel so bad for anyone who couldn't get their hands on this. You know what? No, this is my favorite, and this is my second favorite. Still love them both, and these blend so seamlessly. They're so pigmented. They're buttery. Alright guys, we are in the home stretch. My battery light is blinking at me, so we gotta speed this up, but we only have 4 left. So the first one I have to show you guys is something I just got for my birthday from my friend. This is a Tarte palette, and it's literally a palette because it's shaped like an artist palette. I really don't know what this is called. Oh, Amazonian Clay Eye and Cheek palette. But it comes with 2 eyeshadow shades and a blush shade. Haven't really played with this at all. I already know that I really love the Amazonian Clay formula, even though I don't have any Tarte eyeshadows. And these 2 colors are just super simple, so I might take this traveling because it seems like a really great essentials palette to have. My next one is something I just bought at Sephora. This is the Viseart Petite Pro palette. So you open it up, comes with a mirror of course, but you get 8 little pans, and this was $30, but Viseart is normally like $80 for the full-size palette, so I thought this was actually a really good deal. You just get a little sampler of their shadows, and oh my gosh. Across the board, Viseart palettes have amazing quality, and I think this is the same quality as their Big Pan eyeshadow palettes, but these are absolutely gorgeous. If you're into warm tones like this and some berries, you would absolutely love this. You also get some cool tones like this taupe and the black here. Overall, this is just absolutely gorgeous. I really love this. The shadows are so buttery and pigmented. I do not regret this one bit, even though it was slightly pricey. I love the packaging too. It's really, really smooth. Same with the box that it came in. I have this quad from Charlotte Tilbury. It's called the Vintage Vamp Luxury Palette. I'm trying not to blind you with this rose gold packaging, but you get 4 gorgeous eyeshadows. You get like 2 satiny mattes here. You get like this burgundy shade and this chocolatey shade, and then you have like a shimmery gold and a shimmery champagne. Shimmers are not super opaque. They're kind of sheer, and I like dabbing them on with my finger onto my eyelid. That's the best way to apply them. But the mattes, they don't swatch really well on the arm, but they are amazing with the brush on the eyelid. This is super beautiful. I really love this, and I love Charlotte Tilbury's products. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to her lipstick. Saddest moment of my life, honestly. Alright, last palette. Technically, this is not an eyeshadow palette. It is a highlighting palette. This is the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. I love Nicole Guerrero so much, and I know this is not an eyeshadow palette, but I do use it sometimes on my eyes because it's some gorgeous shimmery shades. I absolutely love this. These highlights are blinding. So beautiful on your face. But you can use these on the inner corners, and you can also use these on the lids. Just dab them on with your finger. You can also use them with a brush. These are just so beautiful. Nicole did such an amazing job picking out the shades in here. My favorite is definitely Forever Lit. I just brush this on top of any of the other highlighters in here, and boom, it's like frost. Today I'm wearing a combination of Glow Getter and Forever Lit on my cheeks. And don't fall. Okay, it didn't fall. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that button down below to subscribe. I will have all the products linked from this video in the detailed description box down below. Oh, make sure you comment down below what are your favorite eyeshadow palettes. I really want to hear from you guys. Obviously, you know mine now. If you made it to the very end of this video, thank you so much. I love you. Bye. And if you just want to see how lazy I was while filming this video, look at my outfit. Hold on. Sweatpants! Sweatpants!